So in previous sections I spoke about VRF, VRF Lite, and something interesting is here. We created different VRFs here. For example, in this case VRF green and VRF blue, and I showed you the configuration. And then I said that we can have VRFs and we can have global context. Now, you do not really use context in case you are speaking about normal iOS, but you can say that there is a global context, that everything happens in that. And because we have only one context, then we do not really talk about that. We don't actually, but I am just saying this so that you can understand it better. Now the thing is, in this context, we can have multiple VRFs, and a global VRF is going to be in place, as a matter of fact. So when we are talking about global routing table, we can say this is a global VRF, which almost is the default VRF, which is there by default. We do not really see that as a VRF when we configure that, but it is there. So you can say that we can have VRF routing tables, or we can have global routing tables. So this is what we have. And now when we speak about NXOS switches, this one, this definition comes in handy, and it will help us to understand what we are dealing with. Let's say that on NXOS switches we have VRFs there by default. In virtual context, we can create different VRFs. We have a context in which we have two VRFs by default. One of them is called the management VRF, and the other one is called the default VRF. Now, what is management VRF? What is default VRF? Management VRF is there by default, and it is used just for management. What do I mean by that is, I can connect to my switch, or if I have a router, for example, I can connect to that router using the serial port. Here we can have an extra interface, which is most of the time an Ethernet interface, or sometimes USB interface. We can connect to the switch and start configuring that like what we had before, for example. And because this is specifically connecting to management plane only, so this is called the management VRF. When you are working with that, nobody can capture what you have, so it is super secure, and everything is kind of secure for you. Now in this, you do not really have any routing protocol, because you are just managing only static routes if you wish. And most of the time the interface is called MGMT0. What about default VRF? We have the default VRF there in place, like global context on routers, and every layer 3 interface is going to be in default VRF by default. I'm going to show you in a second. And we can have routing protocols in there, pretty much like what we had before, and I'm going to configure that in a second. And also we have the default VRF that is in default context. So every command that you are going to use here is pretty much similar to what you have in iOS. A little difference, of course, but most of the time we can say that they are almost identical. And the default VRF is similar to the global routing table what we had in iOS, like I said though. Now let's go to the next slide. This one shows you the interface which is used to connect to management plane, and it is called the management Ethernet interface. Most of the time it is Ethernet, but you can see that we can have different types of management, such as serial management, USB management, or something like this. And of course they are kind of expensive most of the time. Some people say that it is not wise to have this kind of interfaces there, because they do not come cheap, as a matter of fact. So what you need to do is to think about whether you really need it or not, because sometimes you say that I can easily connect to a serial port at the back of the switch and start managing the switch if I want to, and if I don't, I can just connect to switch using the network that I have, using SSH, or let's say Telnet, which is less secure, as a matter of fact. But again, these kinds of connections are there in place. But two things are important to be reminded when you are just selecting to have this module on switch or not. The first thing is, if you want to update your switch, if you want to upload an image to your switch, this management Ethernet interface is super fast. If you just go with a serial interface, that's going to take years until you upload the new image into your switch. So this is one reason that we might go with that. The other thing is, most of the time we just prefer to, connect to our switch using other way. Sometimes I don't have a serial cable or something like that. I don't know. We are just used to do this these days. Anyway, and this interface, of course, supports IPv4 and IPv6, as a matter of fact, which is very interesting. So most of the time, like I said, the management port can be used as a second path, and it is isolated, as a matter of fact. So you do not have anything to do with data plane, only everything is in management plane. Like I said, the commands are pretty much the same. So let's go here and see what we have. If I just type show IP interface brief here, now you can see that it shows the interface to me, specifically the interfaces which are in layer 3. I have done that, but you can see that it also says everything that you see here is in VRF default. Now this number is the ID, it doesn't really matter because we can have multiple IDs for different VRFs, but this is important. So VRF default is there, and two interfaces that I have configured with IP addresses, they are going to fall into this VRF. Now, if I just want to show something like IP route, again, everything is going to be there like this. These are almost all connected. They say attached, but this is similar to connected in iOS. And again, this comes with the VRFs. You can see that is for VRF default. And if I just type star, for example, it says that some other VRFs. And the interesting thing about this is they're pretty much similar to iOS commands. For example, if I want to go for a specific VRF, all I need to do is to type show IP route VRF, for example, red or something. I haven't created VRFs yet, so I'm going to go to do it right now. Creating this is pretty much easy. What you need to do is to type VRF. I believe that IP VRF is not accepted here, only VRF, but not VRF. Definition here, you're going to create VRF in context. So I just create VRF context, and then let's say the name is going to be red. And then what commands do we have here? Pretty much the same as what we had in iOS. We can have let's say, for example, address family. We can have under address family some other commands. Let's go for address family IPv4 unicast, and under this you can see that I have a maximum. This one is interesting because sometimes you want to say that under this VRF table I don't want to have more than a specific number of routes. So if you want to configure this, what you need to do is to type maximum and then routes, and then it says how many routes do you want to have here. Let's say, for example, I want to say 10,000 routes is the maximum number of routes which I'm going to handle here. And after that it says that what is the threshold. So the threshold value, when there is a threshold value, you're going to receive a message. Let's say that 85% is going to be okay. So when I have something like 8,500 routes in my VRF table, which is 85% of the routes, I'm going to receive a log message that you are almost getting filled with the routes and you need to do something. Maybe a warning only or something like that. So this is what we have in configuring the VRF. Now I'm going to exit this and also exit this, and I'm going to create another VRF context that's going to be blue. And again, I can have address family, IPv4 unicast, and if I want to, I can set maximum again here. Okay, let's exit here and exit here. And now how can I put interfaces in a specific VRF? You can see that in my configuration, Ethernet 2.1 belongs to VRF red. So what I need to do is to go to Ethernet 2/1. And here, instead of having VRF forwarding, what we have is VRF member. So I just type VRF member, and after that we have two VRFs here. This one goes to red, and after that there is nothing, just hit enter. And it says that, again, all layer 3 configuration have been deleted, exactly like what we had before. So I'm going to have an IP address of 10.10.1.1, 255.255, or I can just type /24. And that's it. Now if I just want to ping, what I need to do is to use ping VRF, right? Because we are now using VRF. From router 1, of course, this is not going to be a problem. From router 1, it is just a simple ping, 10.10.1.1. And that's going to be no problem. You can see that the ping is successful because router 1 is customer side. It doesn't have any idea of what VRF we have set on this NXOS, but here we can easily type ping VRF red, and of course 10.10.1.101. This is the IP address that we had. Okay, it says that ping VRF, and then it says, what is the VRF name here? I can just hit enter, and it says that this is not what we need to do. We need to go to here and then type ping VRF red 10.10.1.101, and it doesn't understand something that is interesting. Let me see what the problem is. So if I just go to ping, it says type it here 101, and after that say what VRF this belongs to. This one is interesting. Okay, now you can see that there is no problem in pinging the destination, right? And what I'm going to do is to go to interface E22, and I'm going to type VRF member. Of course, it's going to be blue. And this way, I need to have an IP address to this again. /24. And that's no problem. And now if I just want to ping again, it's going to be this ping, let's say 10.10.2.102. That should go in VRF blue, and there should be no problem in reaching to the destination, which you can see that everything seems to be okay and working just fine. Now let's do some verification commands as well. Like I said, the verifications are pretty much similar to what we had in iOS. This time if I just show IP interface brief and hit enter, you can see that there is nothing here because we just put those interfaces into a specific VRF. So VRF default is not there. So what I need to do instead is type show IP interface brief VRF, for example, red. It says that one interface is here, also VRF blue. Another interface is going to be there. Now again, show IP route is going to tell me that there is no route here, but show IP route VRF red is going to show some routes here. Also blue is going to show some routes to us. Also I can have summary.